All right. We can get started. I would like to welcome everybody to the June 3rd, 2025 meeting at 6 o'clock. If I get approval of the agenda this time. We need to amend the agenda to add personnel on executive session.
Motion to,
if I could get a motion, please.
motion to approve agenda with the added item of personnel and executive session.
We got a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I have it. It's our honor tonight. We've got Mr. Jimmy Howard from the Jones County Sheriff's Department. You going to open us up with an invocation and pledge?
I want to thank everybody, first of all, for allowing me to come into this meeting. Appreciate y'all's support and the love that you've shown me down through the years. And it's been a joy, been a good ride. I appreciate everything.
We love you.
We love you, Mr. Jimmy.
It's still a good ride. You
It
sound
ain't-
like
Don't
you're
don't act
retired.
like you're getting ready to announce you're going to retire.
Y'all ain't running me off
Okay,
yet.
good.
So I'm a
Just so
little,
we verify that.
I'm a little bit nervous. so
It's still a good ride. Okay.
Y'all work with me. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we step into this place at this appointed hour, seeking your instruction. We surrender our past, our present, and our future unto you. We ask that you lead us with your will and your ways, and help us to have an understanding that all we do, Lord, is in your favor. For your ways are high, and your plans are great, and we can all greater than we can imagine. Order our steps in every decision. Make way for all that we speak and every action that we take. Keep our hearts from wandering, our minds from out of doubt, and our spirits from fear. Let your wisdom fill us, your peace sustain us, and your love overflow in us. No matter what comes our way, we trust that you are with us, protecting us, and making ways out of no way. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures through all generation. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jimmy, we sure appreciate your service.
Thank you,
you
sir.
so much. All right, before we start planning the zone, if anybody here tonight is in opposition of this request, you'll get an opportunity to speak. Mr. Petrowski, you want to present our planning the zoning for the night?
Chairman, our only item this evening is a request by Richard Eugene Wells Sr. It's to allow an additional lot on an existing substandard private road. Because this is a variance, there is not a recommendation from the Planning Commission. If I could just go ahead and provide a little bit of information about this plat.
Sure.
So the plat they've submitted, currently there are 4 existing lots involved with this. One of the lots is an existing substandard lot on that private road. They're wanting to create one more lot that would be substandard, not having frontage on a county road beyond this newly identified private road, but it doesn't meet our specs for the private road. So we'll be taking this property from 4 lots to 6, with only one of the lots being non-conforming.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Petrowski before I ask Mr. Wells to come forward?
No, sir.
Mr. Wells, you want to come forward and speak? You here tonight? Ready, come on.
Yell at it sometimes.
Well, the piece of property we're talking about will probably never be used because my son won't say it. He lives in Florida. He'll never live here in Jones County again. The reason I'm here tonight, I'm 95, and I want to get a lot of things cleared up in the next 15 years, before I die. I certainly hope it's that long. But I know that all of you here at some time or another, when your parents die, there's always squabbles about money and land. And that's the reason I'm here tonight, to get this approved so that I can go ahead with all that I've got planned.
This is divide this with your family that way.
Yes,
So everybody has their lot.
right.
No, wait a minute. Anybody here tonight in opposition to this request? If none,
I make a motion to accept the property at 121 Torrey Drive to be, for this
Variance.
So-
variance on this piece of property. I was looking for that word.
Second.
Thank you.
we got a
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Now go
Thank you.
get your affairs in order so you don't have to spend 15 years. Go have fun now.
Oh, good, right.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. All right, if we move forward, consent agenda approval for the minutes. So we had the May 20th, 25 work session along with the third Tuesday and executive session. If y'all have had an opportunity to review the minutes, I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All ayes have it. Sam on the phone still?
Yes, he's there.
Okay. All right, Mr. Risner, we got a new business, CIE adoption resolution.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So this is just kind of the tail end of the process. You'll recall Greg Boyke was here, I believe, at the last meeting. We submitted that report off to the state of Georgia Department of Community Affairs. They reviewed it and found that it was in order. The last step in this process is for the Board of Commissioners to approve this resolution adopting the annual update for the capital improvements element.
Phone, you want to do the honors on that one?
Oh, do you want me to read it, or I do
No,
just get
no.
to approve it?
Yeah,
I make a
so
motion to approve the resolutions for the CIE.
Oh, I thought you were already ready to do it, but that's okay.
Second.
Second, any discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you.
I was hoping I didn't have to read it.
Oh. Every inch of it.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna make you read it. All right, I've got a in-cab camera I want to talk to the board about tonight. Several instances we've seen here in the future. I talked with a sheriff, and he's gone to some in-cab cameras on his police cars that actually record the driver, the whereabouts of the vehicle and everything. Jerry's here tonight. He and I spoke this morning at Dairy Queen at Real Men's Breakfast, and he said that it'd be a good idea to put it in a lot of our equipment that we have up and down the road. I think Jerry's exact words was, don't put the audio in it, because he said he'd probably get fired if he had audio. Somebody, one of these people pass him on the road or whatnot, but
Right, mowing.
it's something obviously I'd love for us just to look at, see if it's feasible. It's always he said, she said when it comes to these problems we have with vehicle accidents. Maybe somebody run. How many times you been hit, Jerry?
None yet.
None yet?
I know the two old lawnmowers have been here, one twice and one once.
Right. And the first thing they did was pointed at us, didn't they?
Not my understanding.
Okay, well, still, it's,
Every time a yellow bus was in a wreck, it was our fault. Till I got dash cams.
right, so you,
Right. It's important.
Every bus has a dash cam.
I just, Jason, you went through a presentation with the same group that's supplying the sheriff with his. You want to share that with us?
Yeah, I've looked into a couple different things. I did sit through a demo of that system, and so it's got part of it is a GPS unit similar to what we have in the vehicles now, and then that connects with the camera, and you can do just the forward-facing. You can do the forward-facing or the combo deal where it also looks in the cab. The existing GPS units we have have a similar capability. We could add a camera on to the system we have in the vehicles currently for the GPS. So that's a couple different options you could look at, and I think both have pricing options through Sourcewell. That's how our current units are priced, but I'm happy to research and bring back whatever information the board might want related to that.
Well, it's going to come down to what gives us the best service and is most cost-effective. I mean, I think it's a necessity this day and time, because anytime something happens, somebody hops out with a camera and starts filming from their perspective, but let's catch the events leading up to an incident, and that'll be a lot more thorough for, future investigations of anything that goes on.
It makes your job a lot easier when they got cameras on.
It does. I've certainly handled plenty of car wreck cases, and there are a lot of he said, she said.
Yep, so it would help, ACCG said it wouldn't help us on our rates, but it would help us on our possible claims. And I've had several employees say, I don't want you seeing me. Well, if you got something to hide, you don't need to be there anyhow. And if he was in here, he'd say, you told me that, that's right. So it's just accountability. I think it's something that I'd love just to at least look at. And so y'all want to do it in a motion just to instruct him to look in options that we have?
I make a motion to look at the options with Sourcewell.
All right, second.
Second. Any more discussion? None? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Wagner, you got,
I heard Sam say aye.
did you hear?
I heard him.
You've got better
He
ears.
did.
All right.
He's whispering. Sam is on the phone over here, so he's not over there, but he's on the phone over here.
Ms. Wagner, you've got an EMA director,
Jessica Tyler has received her EMA certification, and I would like to move her into the EMA director position, starting at grade 122.
any questions?
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Jessica Tyler to EMA Director, Jones County, at grade 122.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor, aye?
Aye. Sam, I didn't hear you.
All in favor, aye. Ayes have it, thank you.
He's still
All right,
there.
Bert, you got something for our stage camera? We're gonna get out here early tonight.
That burnt my hands.
Yeah, just wanted to give an update on the stage curtain situation. We were able to get one quote for the proposed curtains and upgrades. We had an original quote that was from HHC, Robin, who's a guy that Mr. Kitchens has had some good experience working with. But his quote was originally just for the curtains. Come to find out from another vendor, it was suggested that we'll need the rigging as well as the curtains. So we went back to Mr. Robin to ask for an additional quote that would be apples to apples with that quote that you're looking at right now. But upon talking to him, they have said that they're out of the curtain business and they won't be able to help us with a quote on the curtains. So where we went from there is we reached out to Georgia Stage Curtains, who is kind of I guess they're the big brother on the block for the state of Georgia and curtains goes. But for them to give us a quote, they required a $1,500 fee to come out and give us a quote just to do the work. And basically the reason why they wanted it is because they're going to have to get into the ceiling to make sure that it can support the rigging for the curtains. Because when they initially came out, they said that our rigging, which is what holds the curtains up, isn't to code to hold the curtains that we'd be getting. So in order for them to put curtains in for us, they have to put rigging in. And in order for them to put rigging in, they were going to have to come out here with either a lift or scaffolding to get into the ceiling to make sure that it could support the appropriate rigging. So I talked to Jason about that and said, well, they want to charge $1,500 to come out. And he says, well, why don't you call Paulding County? They're doing a major project right now and just putting something out for bid. So I talked to the operations manager for Paulding County Schools, and they said they just put a big project out for bid with 5 schools and 5 stage curtains, and they got 0 bids. So what they did is they called Cobb County and said, hey, look, we're getting some stage curtains done. Who do you use? Because we got no bids. And Cobb County Schools said, we have the same problem. The only person that we can get to do any work for us is Georgia Stage Curtains. And so they said that the Paulding guy basically said, Cobb says they only use Georgia Curtains now because they can't get anybody else to bid on anything. So basically where we're at now is we have one $75,000 quote. We're trying to get another quote from Georgia Stage Curtains, but it's going to cost $1,500 to get a quote from them. And there doesn't really seem to be a lot of other people in the curtain business. The Robin guy was the guy that was locally that had done a lot of work for Commissioner Kitchens and Bibb, but he said he's no longer in the curtain business. So that's just kind of where we're at. As far as everything in that quote, that's everything that we would need, except for an additional probably $5K for some video equipment, because when we get the new curtains, we're going to have to get a new screen and a new projector as well. That would cost about $5K. So, and I'm just looking for a little direction. Do we want to move forward and pay the money to get a quote from Georgia Stage? Do we want to try to go ahead and put it out for bid based on the specifications that are on there and see what we get, or another direction?
The one you've got, I mean, they're not worried about the rigging versus the other one that wants
Yeah,
to charge.
well, the one, you mean the one quote that we have?
Right.
They didn't make any comment about the rigging, but they did say that, look, this is a long way for us, and that if you ended up going with someone more local, it wouldn't hurt our feelings. So that leads me to believe that if we put it out for bid, they might not even bid on it. I'm not sure. But, they did not say, that guy, he came and he measured, he had one of those lasers and, was measuring from top to bottom and measured everything out, and that's how he got all of his specs. He didn't give any indication that he needed to get into the ceilings. But when the Georgia Stage Company came, they said in order to give a full quote, we're going to have to get into the ceilings and see what's up there, and that's going to cost money. So
I think maybe this one's got some rigging factored in. Down there towards the bottom, it talks about door tracks, window tracks, brackets, and then it says existing curtain and rigging removal.
yeah,
So I think they're,
he said we had to get rigging, but he didn't say he needed to get into the ceiling to check it out. That was the difference between the two. They both said that we need rigging, that we were out of code with, and when we get new curtains, the current rigging is not the code to support the curtains.
It's an older building, and, you got a bid here from an out-of-state contractor. An in-state contractor would cut out the travel. It may be it may save money to pay the $1,500 to have the building inspected to make sure there's not something we're missing that could show up later if we go with this out-of-state contractor. I mean,
Which you get Sam?
Commissioner Kitchens, can you hear us? Oh, hang on. Hang on just a second.
He had it muted. Hold.
He's probably talking and talking.
Yeah, he may have been talking the whole time. Can you hear me now?
oh.
Can you hear me?
I didn't have it on speaker.
You've been silent the whole time, Sam.
Next time, Jason is
Yeah.
not in charge of the phone.
Yeah. So I gotta start over?
Yeah, we've not heard anything. You gotta vote on all the votes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said aye on everything y'all did.
Wendy thought she heard it one time.
So Sam,
Mistakes?
Sam, did you hear what I said about Robin saying that they're not in the curtain business anymore?
Yeah, I heard that. And I got a couple of texts in to people that we do them for schools in Bibb, so I was going to check and see if we had gotten that information, because he's done some for us within the last 2 years. So I do know that the stage curtain, if we didn't put a spec on the stage curtain, the rigging is dependent on the stage curtain weight thickness, height, all that stuff. So, yeah, if we're going with a 2 mil curtain and we had an 8 mil curtain, then we would have to have the rigging redone. The code for the rigging is based on the structural capacity of the curtain itself. So your weight to your rigging has to be aligned, and so that's why they may need some code updates for the rigging. I would say I would recommend that we postpone it until the next meeting so we can get a little more information if we're comparing apples to apples on the weight of the curtain and all that. But I will say 1,000% we got to have another curtain, and we got to have some upgrades over there. We've done a lot, and we were over there not too long ago, and the what we hadn't upgraded is really rearing its head, that it needs it even more. Now that we've done lighting and some sound, we got to do the rest of it. We got to finish that project, in my opinion.
All right, if I get a motion to postpone
Motion to postpone.
Second.
second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I heard you that time, Sam. Wendy swore she heard you the first couple of times.
I did. I heard him say
Bert,
something.
you got anything else in department heads?
Nope,
All right,
everything good.
Jerry, you doing public works tonight? Jason?
You got,
I didn't miss anybody else, did I?
Nope.
Anything?
Brandon said that we need to think about them a new building with us.
Citizen comments tonight. Any citizens like to come forward? Huh? Have I ever cut you off before? Time up. You didn't hear me, I said time's up.
Sorry, I missed the last meeting, graduation. Just, I guess I would have comments, but kind of questions, well, requests as well. But when we ask for information, can we kind of get it, even though, if it's, if you can give it to us, for instance, we're still at the cemetery. We're still talking about the cemetery. And we asked for the document where it transferred from Walker Pitts to Jones County. I haven't seen that. There should be a digital record because I wrote programs where when they was sliding them in, that we deed pay. Only thing that we found through research is the Bateman Company action in 1981, I believe. That was that, but when I went to the right places where I knew that it would be because of where I worked. I went to Superior Court Clerk, and the only thing they had online was that. And we were to look in the books, but on my way, we were supposed to look together on my way to Gray. They said that they didn't find anything. And then they sent me to the taxes, which I knew it wouldn't be there because I wrote proposed the tax as well. I went in further, went to our senator. Used to be David Lucas, is now Rick Williams. He called me back, thank God he did. And the Secretary of State should have a note of that in the Secretary of State's office. He also, in a very short way, pushed me to the side and said that he could help me, which I knew that wasn't true either. We've been looking and searching. I guess my question is when we ask for information, whether it's legal, whether it's law, whether it's a GA code or whatever, please show us where it is so we can understand. There won't be so much confusion. The next thing is this, the word pauper. Okay, how do we know that the land was actually given for that purpose? We don't really know that. We don't have a record of that. We just been hearing that it was given for that purpose. And doing through research, the Washington Library is a great place to go and find things about Jones County and go through newspaper articles. Far as it went back to 1939, but I know that it was over in the 1800s. And if you look around, you will not see a black cemetery or African-American cemetery in the city of Gray. There was a reason for that. If you look at history and do your research, there was not one. So it was put in place for black people to bury in a place. The only ones they had was out in the country where we are from. We have no record of that, but the elderly people who come, who are 80 and 90 years old, who have handed down why it was given. They never used the word pauper. It never used that word. I want to know what that word, I know what it means. And I know when did it become indigent? 2020, something like that. When did it become pauper, and when did it shift to indigent? Because it was nowhere in history, nowhere on paper that it said those words. So can we, if you know where, somebody had to know because they began to be said, can you please bring that information to us so that we could, know when and where, what year that it did?
In 2011, the newspaper reported on it, not this board, but the sitting board at that time, also told them there was issues with people buried there, and they told them, we're sorry, but you can't bury there because it was a pauper's cemetery.
But that's not, that's.
That's 2011.
That's not this.
It's not this board, but I've said this has been going on since 2011.
Okay, I'm saying, but the newspaper is not illegal.
There's a commissioner that I could call right now, and he'd tell you in 2011, he did the same thing.
Well, I hear you. I don't doubt 2011. I don't doubt that. I'm saying.
We're trying to write something
but-
and get it to where it can be preserved through, with the RFP or whatever. That's what we're shooting for. We've got some things we've got to fix, because we've got 30 graves that's got to have something
Well,
done.
yeah, I understand that
Right.
too. But the legality of it, why the purpose of it given. I know the paper said it, but that's not legal. That's just reporting, and that's just something a newspaper,
What's not legal?
a newspaper article.
No,
Where's the piece when the property transferred from Walker Pit
For
to the,
us, where did it become a pompous or a?
yeah, what they said it was given as a pauper. That piece of paper, even if it was written, would have been scanned in and digital side. It's somewhere.
Well, guess what? This board would
Well, I'm
not
s-
know that either.
Well,
So, only place we can
So-
tell you to go is where you've already been to.
But if we can't
The
find it, how
Superior
can
Court.
it's recorded when the county ended up getting it from the Bateman Company.
Because
That's 19
as a county, we
That was
cannot.
1911.
Yeah, we
That was
can-
1981.
That's
right.
81.
But that's not, that cemetery is over 100 years old.
Exactly.
And so what it was given for, how can we come to the agreement that that's what it was when it
Well,
really
whoever
wasn't?
did the closing, which would have been an attorney, would have had to do all the proper research to close the deal. So obviously, when the attorney took place,
That's not what I'm asking.
well,
I'm asking beyond 1981.
well, this board can't help you.
You understand what I'm saying? But how can we seal on that it was that when it was not given that, we're having the paperwork of that. We just
Because
got,
we're wanting to right what's wrong, okay? Right what's wrong.
sometimes.
We cannot be in the industry of making money as county government,
Nobody's talking about making money.
okay?
You're getting into gratuities, that's something.
No,
yeah,
So that's why we are wanting someone else, that cemetery to be not a part of this board, because there's people that are still wanting to be buried there, correct?
But we don't know whether it is a pauper burial.
If you control it, what would you worry about?
So what?
If y'all came together as a group and controlled it, why would we be having this conversation, I guess?
Because it belongs to the county commissioner. It belongs to the county.
It belongs to the people that are buried there.
Right. What in that? But nobody is charging to bury there right now.
And because we can't, if you come up here today, we legally, correct, we cannot legally let them,
But
because it's the gratuities act. You can chime in.
no, but why? I guess why can't we? You said we can't allow because you're still saying that it's a pauper burial, but we don't know whether that's true or not.
All right, so what about if in 5, 10 years, there's no more spots in that grave in that cemetery for anybody to be buried at, and you die, and that's where you want to be buried at?
Well, that's understandable, because I know if there's no place for me, I can't bury it. That's understandable.
But then your family's gonna come to us arguing, or
well,
Debbie's family's gonna come to us arguing. Because we don't have a space for their family member to be buried there.
But that's understandable there. But there is space there. There is space there. But if there's no space there, we know you can't do it then. I mean, you can't, just like blood, you can't do that. But if there is space there. There is space there. And so if there is space there, why can't we utilize the space? And I think is it the cleaning up of the cemetery? What is it? Because nobody's making money now, so what's the deal?
We spent a lot of money to clean it up so we knew what we had there.
Okay, I
So we
understand
could
that.
identify the graves, to protect the graves, because there were people being driven over.
I understand
They're not
that.
having
I
that.
understand that.
Right.
But if it's your property, that's your duty.
Is there a question of who owns the property, or is it a question of the county?
Not, the question was they called it a pauper burial, but, and said that what it was given for, but we don't even know that's what it was given for.
You're looking for a legal document that establishes when it
Back
became.
when it swapped hands. You understand what I'm saying now?
I wish there was a way to go back with the Bateman Company or the Bateman
No, it was
family.
Walker
and-
Pitts. Walker Pitts
Right.
gave it.
He transferred it to the county, but I wish there was a way to go back in the archives of maybe some private individuals that Bateman family or whoever, and figure
Was
things
it the
in
Bateman Company that
history.
did that in the 1800s? Was it him, them?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't
we-
them.
We said the Bateman Company transferred it to the county in
No,
81.
1981.
81.
That was, what was it? Additional,
We ended
whatever.
up,
Yeah,
the place to
1901.
come, where the landfill is now, was acquired from the Bateman, Oliver Bateman. Along with the cemetery was part of that, and at that point, they divided
Right.
the cemetery. It was all conveyed from Oliver Bateman to the county in 81.
If there was some historical archives, maybe there's notes in some of those archives that
Yeah.
reach out and
That'd be,
find.
just sit
that-
down
and then
when somebody
trans-
can research it for them. We
Right,
can't order it
that's-
researched.
Well, I know
Let's go.
Superior Court should be able to get,
Right.
court should be,
Well,
but
fine attorney can dig deeper. I mean, they
They
still got
turn away
stuff on
from
the
it.
dungeon.
You know,
They
if
still
we
got the
knew,
dungeon
if we
going
knew
on
who
down
the
there.
Bateman used for an attorney back in the day, maybe they have some archives back in a box.
There's an Oliver Bateman that's my age that made that.
Right.
Yeah.
That,
When they may know where it is.
they may have a book that
Yeah.
may have some notes in it. that
But you
would
said,
open
but
some eyes to
Bateman
this.
wouldn't have been the person to, because we have people who are old enough to, it was handed down to them, and it's like it's the commissioner's word against their word. They said, no, this is where it was given for. And then they hear this word right here, and that's kind of disturbing. I'm just being honest with you.
Right.
I'm being honest with you, just telling you, because I hear and I talk to older people around this county, and there's an unrest in a lot of this.
Right,
You know,
and we're still working on this. That's why we had a work session.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have another work session.
Because it's going to, it's and there are
But-
people.
but the fact that there-
And I'm kind of disappointed because I went to the place where it should be until my state senator, and he kind of, he's in the funeral home business, he kind of brushed me off to the side. So I'm having to look outside of him to other local and to, state officials and to federal officials to get some information, because they said the information is there.
All right, so how in the future do you see this resolved?
How do I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because we've got to work together on it, so what is your
Let me
idea?
share something with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm in a confusion about how this nation is going to turn out. So I'm in a bit confused about.
We're talking about right now.
Hey,
How do you see this
I
resolved?
don't know.
Okay,
I'm
so
be-
we're working on it.
I'm being honest. I do not know.
Well, we're working on it.
But I know it's
We've got-
hurting.
We'll
I know
have
it's
another work
hurting.
session, and we
Why y'all put
planted
those
the
things up
seed
there so
with
I
the-
can see them?
With the churches getting together.
Give me three, man.
All right,
All right, that's the end of it.
all right, that's it.
Katie, you can't
All
get
right, did I give you enough time? Thank you.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll be back.
We'll have more Werthers for you.
Come on forward. Just for the record, your name, and we know, Reverend.
My name is Philip Wright. I live at River North.
Yes.
And I specifically came here tonight to meet Mr. Kitchens, but he's only a ghost to me since I had never met him. And I had a few questions. The county, we got our tax notices today.
Yes.
And my property went up substantial.
Mine went up
And-
$100,000, so
Mine
okay?
went over that.
Okay.
Okay. And I was wondering what this tax money's used for. And I assume it's for roads and bridges and, land, whatever work you need. All right, River North already pays an additional 10% on top of, for water and sewer, on top of the taxes. So basically, we're getting double taxed because the money that we pay to the county was supposed to use for other stuff. And I understand it's a private road, it's a private community, but to me, you supply the water and the sewer now, which we're paying for, but you own it, as a completely separate little island of tax money. And I was thinking to myself, I said, well, at this point, does that 10% ever get absorbed into the traditional tax money? Although you still, you're owning the equipment and stuff. And from when I spoke with the gentleman back here, he said they're already starting to replace the lift stations, which I spent over 50 years in construction. I'm still working in the business, and I've worked on hundreds of millions of dollars worth of work. And I sit back and I'm watching what's going on. And I can tell you, I understand that's the shoddiest work I've ever seen in my life in River North. The road work is terrible, and but I'm trying to find out how River North, with Mr. Kitchen's help, can explain to me and some others, how we can get the county to work with us better. I mean, there's got to be a relationship here, because we pay an enormous amount of tax. I think there's 641 homes, and I would think that's like an island for Jones County of substantial money coming in. And I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'd like to meet Mr. Kitchen someday. And I was wondering if we could get him to come to an HOA
This is
meeting.
the first meeting he's missed.
This
I'm serious, this is his first meeting he's ever missed.
He's on the NACO board. Where's he at?
He's in Washington DC.
He's in DC.
Oh, well.
He's
So,
on-
but he's on there, so he's fixing to talk.
Oh, okay,
I'll tell you what
but,
we're gonna do. I'm gonna get your contact information.
Right,
We'll
okay.
forward it to Mr. Commissioner Kitchens, and he'll be more than happy, I'm sure, to sit down and talk with you. And he
Okay,
does-
well-
And he does make your meeting from time to time, and I've done a couple of them too.
Okay, I'm not, well, the idea here is I'm trying to figure out, I'll get the HOA to work with him a little closer.
Sure.
To see if we can get some relief.
Sure.
If, because it is a big number to the county.
Mm-hmm.
And my neighbors, I got a bunch of new neighbors, and I know their homes didn't pay that much for this wonderful price increase. So, and I spoke with a wonderful employee of yours, Kim.
Yes.
She's awesome. I mean, she took her time, she spoke with me, so just to let you know, this is not a bitter encounter, I'm just trying to find some answers. This is just, seems out of whack somehow.
Well, we've gone through 2 years of getting to compliance with the state.
Right.
And that's basically what you're seeing today, is what we just went through for the last 2 years with our tax assessor's office. And I can tell you, if you don't follow the Jones County news, you need to, because this young lady right there can keep you on top of everything going on.
Well, I've been trying in the state, like I said, it's,
And you watch every one of this is on YouTube. You can go back 2 years and watch every meeting, so you.
I don't think I want to do that, but I think, though, that River North has some issues
Sure.
that, construction is designed to last 50 years, and we're at that point. And there's a bridge down there that people use, it's 50 years old, okay? And we inspect it every 2 years, and it's doing fine, don't get me wrong, but we get a lot of common use, not just River North. There's a lot of people that use that. Whether it's legal or not, legitimate or not, they somehow get to go through. And they're using the road not maybe as heavily as it would be if it was a county road, but there are county services using it. There's emergency service, there's a lot of use. And I'm just trying to figure out a way to, come on guys, give us a break. you know.
That bridge, a lot of repair was done to it during the flood.
Right, if it
Yeah,
wasn't
after the flood,
replaced,
because it
yeah.
was damaged during the flood.
Oh, the
so it
big
had-
one
yeah,
of
the big
94 or
bridge,
whatever
yeah.
it was I heard
Yeah, of
about.
94.
Seems
yeah.
like it was closed for a year.
If we can before this thing, we'll
Yeah.
get your contact information, and I'll make sure.
All right,
Okay.
but I think Sam keeps trying to talk over here, so
Okay.
let's go,
Good
Sam.
I'm not trying to talk, Wendy. I'll be glad to get his information. I'll be glad to meet with him and come to their River North Association meeting.
That's all I can ask.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Hey,
Yes,
won't
sir.
you come to more of these meetings? We love it when this room's full.
Well, River North is kind of a weird community. I tried to get the
We're not
HOA.
weird, we're not weird, we just got,
No, your county, you're a rural county. I came from the big city. I moved down here about 7 years ago, and I lived in Cobb County and DeKalb County, and I can tell you all the things that you don't want to do. I can tell you that for a fact, because it's all comes back to haunt you later. And like I said, I spent a lot of years in construction. I know, I worked on the Animal Kingdom in Disney, like I said, MARTA, Hartsfield. And you've got a wonderful place here, and you've got a lot of opportunity. I wish you'd bring some industry in here to help
We do
with
we're
that.
trying.
So,
We got a 1,000 acre,
what, you know where the Otis Redding Bridge is? Whoever owns that property right there, I visualize I said, that would be the perfect golf course. I'm literally telling you, the perfect. It would compete with Augusta.
It's
Huh?
a cow pasture.
I know, that's how that one started. Augusta started the very same way. But that's a beautiful piece of property. So,
Well, thank you.
all right, well, that's all I have to say, and I'll leave my information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in citizen comment? Commissioner Kitchens, you want to start off on commissioner comments tonight?
I don't have any since I'm online, so I'll just hold mine until I get back in the office.
All right.
Lord help us.
Thank you, though.
Commissioner Bone?
I hope everybody is enjoying their children at home for summer vacation. My other job is in the school system, so. So, it's just, even though Daylon and Sam are not here in person, it's great to be able to see a full house. And that we can have the conversations that we can have in here. And we can agree to disagree, and we can agree to try to work for what's the best for what's Jones County. And that's what I always have to remember whenever we talk about anything, it's what's best for Jones County. Not everybody else, Jones County. So, that's all I gotta say.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to Bert. He very much on top of the recreation department, and we talk occasionally. I'll send him a picture of something that needs to be taken care of, and he got to something before I could get a picture of it, and they took care of it this morning. So we're constantly on, good communication, and he and his department are serving.
I was telling him that we got a good team, and I'm fortunate to report that we haven't had any full-time staff turnover in the last few years. So we've been able to recruit some good ones and retain some good ones through some of the programs that you guys have set. So it makes it a lot easier when you ain't having to fill positions every week and you ain't got a full staff.
Right.
So we've been in good shape.
Nice when they
But
come
I'll sum it
trained
up
on
as he's serving Jones County. He and his people are serving Jones County well.
Yep.
I do have a question for you, though. Did you get my text the other day? Are the greens gonna be better for the golf tournament?
Yes. We just aerified the greens. We just put a lot of.
I had to listen to 2.5 hours of complaining from between two sons, a husband and a dad. So,
We just aerified within the last couple of weeks.
that's what I told them. I said, if there's little holes out there, that means they aerated.
And the last thing I had was shout out to the tax assessor. I know the
Amen.
assessment notices come out, but they're short-staffed with qualified people, and they've had a lot of work to do in the past few months trying to get these assessments out to make up for the shortcomings that have happened in the past 8 or so years,
Getting us in compliance with the state.
and to try to get in compliance so we can collect the full amount from utilities. And we're not there yet. We will hopefully be there after the countywide revaluation.
Which will be within the next year. We got, they promised us that they'll have a full countywide evaluation. That way, everybody's paying their fair share on equal basis, and because we do have some that are too high, some are too low. It's a mess, but in 90 days, I've got to admit that our tax assessor's office has just pulled miracles.
Right.
With no more staffing than they do.
And we know that we're gonna hear a lot of backlash off of this, but just remember one thing. I may be been paying less than what I was supposed to for years. And Jason and Chris might have been paying double what they were supposed to pay for years. And what, since the beginning when we started this with the tax assessors, was consistent and fair for everyone.
Uniformity.
Okay? We've had overrides that have cleared people that were paying 3 and 4 times more taxes than what they should have been paying. Think about if you was that person. Yes, your taxes have gone up because the value of your homes have gone up. Because I looked at it and my house was actually only valued at being $60 a square foot. Okay? So now it's valued at $138 a square foot. So yeah, it costs a whole lot more now. But
You can't build it for
I
that.
can't build it for that right now either. So if every one of our taxes go up, that means it's our job as your commissioners to make sure we get that budget that we've kept it at for the last few years that I've been on this board, and we can roll or reset that millage rate lower. And that's what we are going to do our dangest to do, because that is what's fair. That's what's fair to every one of y'all sitting out there. But y'all, we pay those taxes too. And we want it to be fair and equal for everybody. And then, you know, of course, if you've got city taxes, they've got to get on board with that too. And
School board too?
if you got school board's got to get on there also to roll everything back to the budget that we can run this county under. So,
Because your taxes haven't gone up. You know, your value of your houses have gone up. We only need, what, 30 million to pay the bills?
Maybe 25.
Okay, excuse me, let's go down to 25, even better. 25 million. Well, let's just say it comes in at 70 million. We don't need $7 million, so we roll back. We've rolled back 4 years, and I see a big rollback this year. Well, we roll back the millage rate. It don't, you know, yes, your value of your property, and this is the education part. We spoke time and time again how we need to educate the public, because a lot of people don't understand all that. My taxes are gonna double. I've heard that 4 times today. My taxes are gonna double. My exact word to them, my house ain't worth, but what they put it last year, and I said I will close on it Friday and pay cash. Well, they started backing up right then. And I would have done it, put my money where my mouth's at. So yeah, I'll buy it Friday. If you think your house is only worth that, they know they can't do it. So, but when this board, and I encourage all of y'all to follow. If you don't come to this meeting, just get online and watch it. There's people, you wouldn't believe our following we have online of people watching this, so they won't have to sit in there and sit on those. I think these are comfortable seats compared to where we were at, but follow what we're doing, because like I said, this year I'm looking for a major rollback, because we're not going to need. If it's 70 million, we don't need 70 million. We need 25. So we'll roll back the millage rate. But you talk about economic development. It will also promote economic development, because when these industries come in, we're sitting on 1,000 acres. We've got one of the only, I think the only 1,000-acre industrial park in the state that's available right now. But what happens when these companies we come in here and look at a high millage rate? We can't afford to come in there, the millage rate's too high. But if we can roll that millage rate back and get the economic development, it takes all the pressure off our rooftops too. So it's all about education. And there's cards out there in the lobby you can get each one of our phone numbers and call us anytime, and any of us will be glad to sit down and talk to you about it. with that being said, we got to go to
I
executive
know.
session.
I make a motion to adjourn and go into executive session for real estate and personnel.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you.